Welcome back, students, teachers, aspiring filmmakers, and YouTube surfers alike. My name is Dylan, and I am your guide once again in this tutorial of DaVinci Resolve 15. Last video we covered basic stuff like titles, transitions, music and tracks, basically anything you need to get started on a slideshow. And today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to manipulate your clips to look certain ways, and I'm also going to be going over keyframes. Now, you're probably wondering what a keyframe is, and I'll get to that in a minute, but right now I'm going to be guiding you through the inspector up here. Now, I looked at this a little bit in the last video, but you can adjust a lot of things from here, including the opacity, the position of a clip, and image cropping, dynamic zoom. I'm not going to be going over any of this from dynamic zoom to retime and scaling or lens correction, but I am going to be talking about how to transform an image, not to be confused with Transformers as in robots in disguise. By image transform, I mean zooming in, changing the view, moving up and down, or even changing the rotation angle. Let's just use a clip that's easy to see. Okay, I kind of like this. It's easy to see what's going on in this video. So I'm gonna bring my playhead over here and actually shorten the clip to about 4 seconds. Now what I just did is I layered this video over this clip down here, and you're not going to be able to see what's going on underneath here. So what I'm going to do is lower the opacity of the image I just put in. And now you can kind of see the video underneath here. Now, as far as composite mode goes, if you're a student, you're probably never going to use this, simply because it does a lot of things that I personally would never want to do in any of my projects, unless I was huge on special effects. But composite mode is something you can experiment with on your own, because honestly, I'm not sure what to do with it. Alright, so I went ahead and used the trim edit tool to move it to about where this Toyota is in the clip. So I'm going to zoom in on where the headlamp is. So zooming often goes hand in hand with positioning the clip. So let's just... Alright, I've zoomed in on the Toyota a bit. I think it's a Prius. I'm going to keep zooming. And I'm going to change the position. Uh-oh. So you don't want to zoom in too much, otherwise you're going to run out of room to change the position of the image. But you're probably never going to zoom in that much unless you're compiling a gaming video or something. Alright, so now we're zoomed in on the very front. I never really touch anchor points, but sometimes I like to give it an interesting rotation angle. And also, if I if I zoom out, you can see this a bit better. Actually, you can't see anything at all, so I'll just reset the whole thing. Zoom out. And this is a little interesting. You can change the pitch and yaw of the image. Let's zoom out a bit more. Oh my goodness. Okay, I did not expect that. What? That is so weird. Since I never really use pitch and yaw, I've never seen it react like, what? What the heck is that? I don't think that's how pitch and yaw is supposed to work. That is so weird. The entire image wraps around my head. Okay, if you're gonna use pitch and yaw, I highly recommend barely changing it, because otherwise it's gonna make your image look like this, and I don't think you want it stretched out that far, unless you're into crazy special effects like that. I'm just gonna reset this whole thing. And you can completely flip the image however you want. You can also crop your image or video. So if I wanted to freeze frame this car, okay, I'm not gonna freeze frame anything. In fact, I don't want to crop the image at all. I rarely ever crop anything unless I'm layering one image over another, so that pretty much covers everything you can do to manipulate your foreground or background videos. And now I'm going to get to keyframes. Okay, so keyframes are a bit of an interesting topic because they're a little difficult to work with, but once you get the hang of it, you can do just about anything to manipulate an image within a video. And basically what I'm talking about is if I want to make this image move across the screen while this clip is playing, I can do that. So basically what I need to do is select the clip, hit this red button, change the position so it moves off screen, bring the playhead back over here, hit this button again, that's not what I want to do. And drag it across to the opposite. Okay, I did not expect that. The car just kind of stayed in one place throughout the whole thing. So that was a bit of an unintended side effect of keyframing that whole thing. Now that's not the only thing you can do with a keyframe. You can actually move an image at multiple points. So if I just reset this image entirely and zoom and start the keyframe here, have another keyframe at about this point, another here, and another at the very end. Just reset the zoom here. All right. Now, on each keyframe, I can move the image however I want. Oh, there are only 2 keyframes in between, so let's see what that did. Actually, on the last keyframe, I want the zoom reset to 1. My computer is having a tough time handling this. Now you can even keyframe the rotation angles, so if you want an image to rotate, you can do that as well. If I reset, I'll demonstrate. Yeah, my computer isn't handling this all that well. I don't know if it's because I'm recording or not, but I'll figure it out later. Anyway, you can manipulate any of these and change them throughout whatever clip you want to edit. And I'll let you play around with that for yourself. Now, keyframes can't just be used on images. They can also be used in audio clips. Now, how would you keyframe an audio clip, you might ask? Now, hold Alt, and at the point you want to edit the video, or the audio, I should say, go ahead and click, hold Alt again, click, and you can move these keyframes from side to side and up and down. You can probably tell what I just did. Cover your ears. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Let me get rid of this image. Whoops, I didn't mean to delete the keyframe, but okay. Now you can adjust the volume gradually or abruptly. If you're doing a voiceover, for example, and you need to adjust some clip volume, let's just use this as a marker. I'm going to change the clip color to orange. Alright, let's just say this orange clip had a voiceover in it. What I would do is maybe zoom in on that orange clip. Hold Alt, click, here, 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 and here. So 4 keyframes total. and I would adjust the volume there. By adjusting the volume within the inspector up here, I've just accidentally created another keyframe in between these two. I don't want to do that. Instead, what I want to do is adjust the volume solely from here. So now that the volume has been adjusted, the voiceover in here can play clearly without much obstruction. Now I think that covers everything I wanted to for this particular tutorial. This wasn't quite as long as the first one, but I just wanted to cover something very specific that you might want to use in your projects. You can also use keyframes on titles. Now I'm not going to demonstrate much here, but what I will do is, let's first make sure it's visible for the entire thing. I'm gonna keyframe the position here. And at the end. Now at the end keyframe, I'm going to adjust the Y position. Alright, let's bring this back. See how it moves ever so slightly across the screen up top? Now that's just one example of what you can do with keyframes. Anything with a little diamond-shaped button over here can be adjusted in keyframes. So you can have as much fun as you want with that, but that's all I really have time to showcase for today. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about keyframes, let me know in the comments and I'll answer to the best of my ability. Next video, I'm going to cover color grading. See you then.